Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. Not the United Stand. It's not the United Stand. You got that wrong straight away. Ha ha, caught out. Goldbridge is shit. Got that wrong. Yeah, it's not the United Stand. It's That's Football. Welcome very much. I'm not with it tonight. Fuming on the United Stand, that's what it's all about. Welcome this evening to our Champions League watch-along. You're all very, very welcome, of course. Our featured game is Liverpool against Lille, but there are other games going on, like Benfica against Barcelona. Villa have lost to Monaco. We'll update you on what that means in relation to the league table as well. But before we get into all that, I must just shout out our sponsor tonight. Very excited to have them is Sleeper. Sleeper's been making waves this season. It's been top download for sports apps in the US for the NFL season, overtaking giants like ESPN and Yahoo. That tells you just how popular it's become. And it's renowned for offering the best fantasy experience with deeper features and more customization. Well, tonight, we are giving a shining light on this app in their UCL Champions League prediction mode. Your chance to show off your football knowledge, compete with thousands of fans, and win incredible prizes. And the best part, it's completely free. Get downloading now. Scan the QR code, go through the link in the description. You've only got a few minutes to do it, but you play for free and you win great, incredible prizes. Last time, we had 8 pool winners with even more prizes to play for in tonight's game. So it's exclusive for you. It's That's Football. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. Last time we had 8 winners, and it's free to play, and there's loads of prizes. So get involved, but don't hang about because the entry closes at kickoff. And obviously, a lot of people will go, I'm not going to bother doing that. And then that means there's less people for those who do and more chance of winning. We'll be sharing even more about Sleeper as the season goes on as well. Hit the link in the description or scan the QR code to get ready for that and get playing tonight. Make your match day even more exciting, predict key moments, challenge your mates, and see who's got the skills to win big. Sleeper is where the action is at. Check it out. As I said, you can win prizes tonight. It's free to play. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. Big shout out to Sleeper. So, I hope you're all doing very well. I'm ready to go on this one ready to go on this one, of course. And I think that the first place I wanted to start off with was to look at, not the fixtures, I want to have a look at the table and how it looks. I'm very excited, actually, to watch Liverpool versus Lille tonight. I've got Benfica on here at the moment, which I'm not going to watch. I will get that up on another screen in a minute. But I'm very excited to watch Liverpool play Lille. And I'll tell you why. Because if I'm right in saying this, and I hope I am... is Liverpool on Prime? Oh, that makes it a lot easier to double watch then. Okay, that's fine. That's why it's not on there. Let me go there. I didn't realise that. Makes it easier. Hey up. Oh, you're an idiot. It does make it easier to double screen though. There we go. Okay, Amazon Prime. There we are. Yeah, watch tonight live. That's fine. Liverpool versus Lille. Yeah, that's what I want to watch. Watch live. Continue. Yabba dabba do. There we go. That's what I want to do. Yeah, Jonathan David's playing. That's the thing I wanted to talk about. So Jonathan David is playing for Lille, which I'm excited to watch because this player is up for grabs for free. So there we go. Mark, you should get a low taper fade, says Meme Lord. Thank you very much, mate. Okay, so Liverpool are top of this Champions League with 18 points. Benfica Barcelona is on that screen. Barcelona are second with 15 points. Atalanta are in third with 14 points. Arsenal are in fourth. Leverkusen fifth. Inter Milan sixth. Aston Villa are seventh, but they've left themselves in a precarious position because there are a lot of teams behind Aston Villa and a lot of those teams are playing tonight. Brest, Lille, Dortmund, Monaco, Madrid, Atletico, AC Milan, Juventus, they can all go above Aston Villa if they get results in the next couple of nights. So Aston Villa have left themselves with a little bit to do. Their final game is next week against Celtic. I think that's a very big game for them. So, yeah, very interested to see how this is going to pan out. But looking forward to watching Lille tonight and seeing what Jonathan David can do. Teams should be going around on your screen for you now. Let me just get the lineups on my screen. So Alisson in goal, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Jones, and then Salah, Nunez and Diaz. I'll give you the Lille side as well. Suffice to say, Jonathan Davies does play. Chevalier, Mande, Diakité, Goodmanson, Macau, Andre, Baka, Haraldson, Cabella, and Jonathan David. Of course, Angel Gomez plays for Lille, but he's currently injured, former Man United player. So, and we are in, we're not in Lille. Like, I'm looking at Benfica's game and going, where the fuck are we? Because I've got the wrong screen on. We are up and running for the Liverpool game already, and I haven't got the clock running like a prat. Sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you're all doing very well. Get your controversial comments in, your either-ors. We will certainly do that on a Champions League night. I've got a few controversial comments to make. I'll certainly be making those. Lovely stuff. Okay, I'm all ready now. Brest playing tonight. Where can I watch that? Says Meme Lord. Is Liverpool the best team in Europe right now? Says Mrs. Stone. I would say so. And hello, Mark. I absolutely respect your opinion, your passion for Man United. I want to know how you deal with personal attacks and negativity from social media. I don't read it, mate. That's the very honest answer. I don't read it. So I find it's the best way to do it. Is just not to read it. Yeah. Let me just do that there. I'm convinced Sir Jim is George Osborne in a mask, says Goldio. Supercuts, which was worse, Sir Jim or Murtaugh's useless aboard trip. I'm an Eagle, says either or, Jaffa Cakes or Jammy Dodgers. I will do that. It's a super chat. It's an either or, and it wasn't what I was expecting. I have actually got a decent one, but there we go. Oh, I've got a story for you. Oh, I've got a story for you. You may or may not have seen my goal for Benfica. We've got a goal for Benfica. It wasn't my goal, and it's Alvaro Fernandez with the assist. If you know, you know. 1-0 Benfica. Alvaro Fernandez with the assist. Former Man United player. Bring him back. Alvaro with the assist. It's a lovely... Why would you spend... What? Look at this for a cross. Oh, my God. Why are we spending 30 million on Dorgu? I nearly said something else then. When we've got a player with a buyback clause for 16 million who is getting assists against Barcelona. Lovely goal. Really good goal. Who scored the goal? Pavlios. Oh, lovely cross by Alvaro Fernandez, though. Lovely cross. Bring him back. Evening Goldbridge. Who do you predict with the top scorer in the Champions League this season? Says Mexican America. I don't know who's the top scorer at the moment. You raise a good question. Top scorer at the moment is Lewandowski with 7. Garassi's got 6. Rafinha's got 6. VJ has got, I said VJ, 5. Harry Kane's got 5. Haaland's got 5. I would say Lewandowski, Kane or Haaland. Boring, I know, but yeah. I've got to pick one. I'll say Lewandowski, to be honest with you. Jaffa Cakes are beating Jammy Dodgers. Either or Vieira or Gerrard, says Alex G. I will do that one. Thank you very much. Jaffa Cakes have beaten Jammy Dodgers. Personally, I'll go Jammy Dodgers. Thanks everyone who's tuning in tonight. I need this. I need a bit of escapism. I do. I feel very fed up about Manchester United and how shit we are. Okay, lovely. Okay. Moon landing was done in Kubrick's basement, says Meme Lord. Okay, I'm going to block you in a minute because every comment of yours has been quite boring. Just telling you, up your game or out. That's what she said. You imagine that. Imagine being in action in the bedroom and your partner says, if you don't up your game, you're out. Some people would respond to the pressure. Some people wouldn't. You know what I would do? I'd go, right, okay. Stick a finger somewhere they weren't expecting, and maybe they enjoy it. We sold Fernandes for 5 million, I think, says Eds. Did you see Man United changing Leicester fans £60 for an FA Cup ticket? Yeah, lovely. Either or Vieira or Gerrard have done that. Okay, so it's 1-0 Benfica, it's 0-0 Liverpool and Lille. Benfica at the moment, in relation to as it stands in the table, would be up to, well, there's a lot of teams on 13. So 7th place is 13 points, but so is 13th. So there's a lot of teams on 13. It's going to be exciting next week, I think. I think it will be. The 1 week this new Champions League format will be exciting is the final week. And don't forget, Real Madrid have still got a chance of getting in amongst it, although I don't think they've got much chance of getting in the top 8. I think they've done that on purpose, personally. I think Real Madrid have done it on purpose. I think they've... He's coming forward again, Alvaro Fernandez. Oh my God. Should have had another assist. Bring him back. For God's sake, bring him back. You've got to bring him back. Bring him back for fuck's sake. Why aren't we bringing him back? His delivery is very, very good. He's having a bloody brilliant game. You know what? Up yours, Lecce. You can keep Dorgu. Either or, Michael Oliver or treading on the Lego, says the boy. Thank you, mate. Agony Bridge. Oh, I like an Agony Bridge. Can buyback clauses be blocked, says Mrs. Stone. No, it just depends on what the terms of them are. Nobody's ever answered the question. So this lad who's playing brilliant for Benfica at the moment, they're 1-0 up against Barcelona. It's the better game. This lad who's playing for Benfica is at left back is a Man United player. We basically sold him with a buyback clause, and the buyback clause is 16 million. But nobody knows when the buyback clause is active because he only went in the summer. And I keep saying, I've even asked certain journalists, is the buyback clause active? And they don't answer. Nobody ever says. I don't know whether we can do it in January because normally if you buy a player and there's a buyback clause, it's not active for 12 months. But nobody said it's not active. So effectively we could bring him back tomorrow if we pay the price. I don't know. I don't know why we don't. It's a cracker. They're all over them, but Benfica. Who's top of the Portuguese league? Now that Sporting have changed their manager, they're still top by 3 points from Benfica. So actually, it's quite a good title race because Porto are on 40. Porto are third with 40, and Benfica second with 41, and then Sporting are top with 44. Lewandowski just had a chance there, put it over the bar. You'd expect him to do a little bit better here. I think he was offside anyway, but I would have thought he would have hit the target. Jim the Weasel doesn't even know who Alvaro is, says Parker. Amorim has seen Alvaro. I'm sure he rates him. What's the point of a sporting structure if they can't make these decisions? Unlikely it's not active, says Mrs. Stone. They need to buy Alvaro back, says Big Ty. And either or Michael Oliver or treading on Lego. Gerrard's beaten Vieira by 57%, by the way. And I have a feeling that Solskjaer, now as manager, as Besiktas, will want Rashford and Casemiro. If Liverpool match past 3 goals, I earn $200, says Andreas. Well, we'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much. I didn't do the Agony Bridge. I need to go back to that. Let me go back. Agony Bridge from Hitchcock and Scully. Thank you very much for your super chat. Says, blind friend, amazing guy. I don't like where this is going. Good looking, great job, kind-hearted. Feels he can't get a date because of his blindness and is convinced no one sees him as an option. It's left him feeling hopeless and worthless. I hope there's not a joke in there. So he's blind, an amazing guy, good looking, good job, kind-hearted, but can't get a date because he's blind. I mean, there's a joke there, isn't there, about how does he know? But that would be bang out of order, and somebody in the chat's just done it. Yeah, people are doing it now, blind date. I don't feel, I don't know whether I'm being like wound up here, but the bottom line is, it doesn't matter whether you can see or you can't see. If he is what you've described on the tin, an amazing guy who's got kind-hearted and a great job. Well, the job doesn't matter. The looks don't matter. Well, they do. They don't matter to him. But what I'm trying to say is that there will be somebody out there, and you just got to stay in the game. It might surprise people, but I was single between the age of 18 and 19, and I thought, you know what? What's wrong with me? I mean, I look in the mirror every day and I go, what's wrong? But I think it was just where I was living. There just wasn't a lot there. So yeah, chin up to your mates, Hitchcock and Scully, and I'm sure he'll be fine. Good question. That was quite a serious one, I think. Goldie, I hope your finger is better, but can we see, says David. No, it's getting better. I sliced the top of my finger off last week. Again, I probably should have gone to A&E, but when I say I sliced the top of my finger off, I did take a section off, but it was like, you know, the very top bit there that sticks out over the nail? It was like angled a little bit. Potential penalty check in Barcelona's game against Benfica. Balde, he'll give this. No, yes, well, I feel he touches him, but he then makes a dive. That's a penalty. I think he's got to get. Yeah, he's got to give it. He's got to give it, and he has. Trod on his foot. Definite penalty. Barcelona. Yeah. Unai Emery is a top 3 coach in England to super lightweight. PJMOL will recruit your friend, says Mrs. Stone. And would you survive playing in Squid Game, says Samuel. I'll leave that to the chat because I've never watched it. I hope you think, thank you very much to David, by the way. Either or, food poisoning or United business acumen, says Rob. Both shit. I have a feeling that I've done that one from Andreas. Right, Lewandowski, who is already the Champions League top goal scorer with 7, is about to hit 8. Yeah, 1-1. Bit lucky for Barcelona because Benfica started off well. Still 0-0 Liverpool and Lille, by the way. Jim the Weasel bought us in to get funding for the stadium so he can kick back on all the subcontracts. Hundreds of millions, trust me, says Parker. Dortmund are leading as well. Good penalty by Lewandowski, by the way. Stuttgart are winning as well, beating Slovan Bratislava. But Dortmund are playing Bologna in Bologna, and it's Garassi who's scored as well. So that's another one for him. So interestingly, the two top scorers in the Champions League at the moment are Lewandowski and Garassi. They were on 7 and 6. They're now on 8 and 7. That's what happens when you add 1 to 6 and 7. It becomes 8 and 7. Lovely stuff. Okay. Back to the chat. Antonio Nusa or Oscar Bob, says Fern. I like that one. Little bit niche. Little bit hipster. We're capable. We are. Hitchcock and Scully said, thank you. Was not a joke. You're very kind. We'll send him a clip to listen to. Yeah, I just think in life when you're looking for a partner, patience is better to be patient and not give up hope and back yourself. Because I know so many people that almost got desperate to be in a relationship and married the wrong people and blew away 10, 15 years of their lives. When if they just realised that it wasn't the right person, you know. Happened to me. I was with somebody that was great, but I just knew deep down it wasn't the right thing. And there was nothing that could change that. So I stayed with them until I found someone else and then married them. That sounds bad. But I don't think there's necessarily something wrong with that. You know, if you know there's something better out there, is there anything wrong with staying the thing that you've got until the better thing comes along? It's a bit like having a striker in your team. You know, if you've got Nicholas Jackson up front for Chelsea and you know you need something better, you're not going to get rid of him until you get a Nozman or a Gyökeres. You're still going to play. You're going to keep him until you get a better striker. So that's. I always bring it back to football. You can solve so many problems when you think about football. I knew I was in a relationship with somebody that, you know, wasn't the right person completely, but until that right person came around, I'll stick with that. I'm not ironing my own trousers. Now that is a joke. Thank you, says Hitchcock. Thank you very much. Either or, peak Suarez or peak Salah, says Lewis. You're giving me a lot here because it's close between Bob. What was that one we had that was 50-50 last week? Either or Nunez or Jackson, says Matthew. There's too many coming in here. I'll have to come back to some of these. Mark, can't stand my missus anymore, says Alpha. She's done nothing wrong, just tired of waking up next to her, but didn't want the kids to have a broken home. Help needed. Bloody hell! This is all a bit bloody serious. Where's the jokes? Where's the jokes? You can't stand your missus, but you don't want to leave the kids in a broken home. Well, I mean, this is a serious problem. How can we, you know, it's a bit like being a striker for a football club that's being run badly and you don't like the manager and your teammates, but you love the fans. Do you put a transfer request in and upset the fans even though you can't stand the chairman and the owner? Or do you stick with the club because you love the fans? And that's basically what you're saying. You know, do you stick with your wife for the kids or do you get out because you can't stand her? There isn't a right answer to that, Alpha. You know, you stay and you're a hero for the fans. I mean, kids, if you go, you know, you're getting out of a situation that, let's be honest, isn't a good situation. What would I do? Fans always come first. I mean, look, a lot of my mates when we were growing up, I think about 90% of my mates were from divorced parents. I was as well. The problem with getting divorced is, I know a lot of people who do it, and you can have the best intentions for your kids, but if your partner's a bitch or a bastard, then they can poison your kids against you. So it's really difficult. If I said to you, you know, leave her and then you can have your kids and look after them, etc., who knows what she's going to say when you're not there? So that's what I'd be worried about. You've got, you know, I think if you bring kids into the world, you've got a responsibility to those kids. Had to quit alcohol for medical reasons. Wife's allergic to having a laugh, says Tom. In my opinion, get out. You're going to be miserable and not a good dad, says Mrs. Stone. Bloody hell, this is a serious show tonight. Don't worry, I'll bring the mood back up in a minute. Sadly, the jokes come Thursday when United play, says Matthew. Mark's definitely got a favourite child. No, I haven't, Odie. Right, still 0-0 between Liverpool and Lille. 1-1 between Benfica and Barcelona. A Lewandowski equaliser. It's 1-0 to Dortmund in Bologna. 0-0 between Atletico Madrid and Leverkusen. The only other goal is Stuttgart away to Slovan Bratislava. And that was scored by Llewellyn. There we go. Okay. I tell you what. Whilst we're having a bit of a chat. What was for dinner, Mark, says Ahmed? It was salmon and lemon and spinach fish cakes. Very, very nice. With lentils, a salad, and a coleslaw. It was very nice, actually. Typical sort of January healthy meal. I had 3 weeks over Christmas where I ate what I like, drank what I like. But I always do that under the promise to myself that the rest of the year I will eat healthily at least half of the week every week. So tonight was a healthy one. Half a chance again. Good save by the goalkeeper. It was Barca that time. Anyway, talking about quitting alcohol, you know I can't stand dry January. I have said before, I don't like dry January. I think it's a gimmick. I think it's a waste of time. And my biggest frustration about dry January is that people who do it never shut up about it. You know, you could literally walk in to the pub, but they wouldn't be there. You could literally, you know, walk into work and say, did you have a good weekend? And you go, no, you know, my cat's gone missing. And we're all devastated. And they would cut you off and go, I did. Slept really well. Still on dry January, by the way. Never felt better. Absolutely glowing. My skin's glowing. I've never slept so well. It's just, they never shut up about it. Never shut up about it. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got something to tell you. You know what? You won't believe this. This has been planned for ages. So this weekend, Saturday night, we go around to some friends for dinner, right? The only reason we did it in mid-January was because it was too busy at Christmas, yeah? They always have a drink. They always have a laugh. I said to Mrs. Goldbridge, really looking forward to this. Been looking forward to this for weeks. You know, he always gets the old rum out, and I'm going to take this new Kraken with black cherry, which is delicious. This is going to be a late one. We're going to have a right good laugh. Can't wait. Turn up, right? How's everything doing? Been looking forward to it for ages. Turn up. Didn't even tell me. Just you know, didn't even ask me about, you know, Man United or anything like that. Just says, you know what? Benfica have just scored, by the way, 2-1. Absolute scenes at the back. Might not get given. I'll come back to this. This is a goal. This is a goal. Keeper's down for Barcelona. Collision with his own player, though, so it will be a goal. Balde and ter Stegen colliding with each other here. This will be a goal. It's a cracking game. And it's an open goal, basically. So it's a long ball over the top. Definitely onside. Yeah, ter Stegen. Sorry, not ter Stegen. What am I talking about? Chesney. Chesney Hawks, the one and only. I mean, what are they doing there? Whose fault's that? It's like a car crash at a roundabout. Same scorer again, Pavlidis. He'll never score an easier goal. But yeah, ball over the top. Chesney and Baldy, they're just not looking. You know what? I can't tell there, but in that situation, I've played the game. How do you stop that happening? The goalkeeper needs to be screaming and shouting, and the defender needs to be aware of it. I mean, I don't know who you blame on that one, but I'd probably blame Balde. Definitely would have been a foul if it wasn't a Barcelona player doing it to him. Danny Rodriguez says, Pavlidis is the Greek Harry Kane. Well, not Ter Stegen. I keep calling him Ter Stegen. Chesney's all right. He's up and running. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Lille. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Di Maria's on the bench for Benfica, by the way. I was just looking where he was. The snake. Back in front, Benfica then. Yeah. What do you think about that? Finish the story, Mark. Yeah, so basically, been looking forward to this for weeks. And they always have a drink with us. And it's always a good night. And the whole purpose of looking forward to it was that, you know, your hard week at work, good company, have a few drinks, right? Get there, and the first thing that he says is, I said, have you had a good week? You know, like, you know, when you first see your mates and you sort of like a bit of small talk before you get in the groove. And I said, have you had a good week? And he went, yeah, I stopped drinking on Monday and I felt absolutely fine. I felt like slamming the bottle down on the floor and saying, what? I felt like I'd been cheated on. What? What do you mean you stopped drinking on Monday? What am I here for then? And I sort of left it at that, and I thought, oh, maybe it just means he's not drinking in the week. Anyway, so I'm not happy, but I keep it to myself. And I thought, you know what? This will come. The truth will come out very soon, because when you go around someone's house, after the pleasantries, within the first 2 minutes, what do you want to drink? So I'm like, okay, we'll wait for this. Considering it's about 8 o'clock, so wife's come in, and his wife goes, do you want a cup of tea? Well, my mouth just dropped. I was just like, I couldn't even hide it. I just looked at my Mrs. Goldbridge and I went, it was all I could do not to say, is she having a laugh? So anyway, out of politeness, Mrs. Goldbridge says yes. And I said, no, I'll have a beer, please. What do you think? Turned to him and he goes, no, I'll have a tea. And I was like, that was it. I knew he'd gone to the dark side. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. And that was it. And you know what I did? I went to the toilet and WhatsApped Mrs. Goldbridge and I said, what a waste. What a waste of a night. You know, I don't mind if they want to do dry January, but they should have cancelled the night. You can't invite people round and on dry January if they're not on it. So purposely, I got absolutely wasted in the space of an hour and a half and opened up the Kraken. I was just like, you know what? I wasn't going to go too mad. But because you're on dry January and because you didn't tell us and because I've wasted a night, I couldn't drink them cans quick enough. They hadn't even finished sipping half of their tea and I was on can too. And the great thing is, they were stone cold sober. And you know when you've had a drink and you start talking shit, they had to put up with a drunk person for about 3 hours, which was great. So cheers to that. Still 2-1 to Benfica. And it's, 2-1 to Benfica. I was just having a look. 2-0 to PSV. That happened quick. Against Red Star. PSV are 2-0 up. De Jong, 17 and 24 minutes. That's why. Liverpool 0-0 as well. I think we've got a penalty. We've got a penalty for Barcelona. A penalty for Benfica. Incredible scenes. This is the game. This is the game to watch tonight. It's a classic. It's a classic. That's not offside. Yeah, that's a stone wall. Benfica, you know, Alvaro Fernandez getting forward again. This is one of the best games I've watched that hasn't had a Premier League team in it for a long time. It really is a good game. There are complaints here from Barcelona, but that is a stone wall penalty. Chesney takes him down. This could be 3-1. Barcelona struggling. Remember when everyone was telling everybody that Barcelona are going to win the league? Just looking at a chance here for Liverpool. Diaz and Salah need it. Good cross to the back post by Diaz. And Salah just couldn't get his legs down. Need it over. Right, let's see what happens with this penalty. 3-1 to Benfica. This would be if it goes in after half an hour. Some people are saying it was a dive. I think it was a dive that had picked it up on VAR. And I tell you what, Pavlidis has a hat-trick inside half an hour against Benfica. Imagine what he feels like tonight. He must feel very happy. 3-1 Benfica. Not even had half an hour. And it's a hat-trick for Pavlidis. Against Barcelona, sorry. Well done. Well done. Shah says, hi Mark, just tuned in. I saw Curtis Jones on social media getting a lot of hate from Liverpool fans for saying Hazard is better than Salah. What are your thoughts on that? I think he's an absolute prat. I think he's an absolute knobhead. If he has done that. I mean, why? There's honesty and there's stupidity. One, you're wrong, and two, you play for the club where that player plays. I mean, it's just keep your mouth shut. What do I always say to people? You don't have to have an opinion on everything. You don't have to. You know, if somebody's... It happened to me a lot over Christmas. People kept saying to me, what do you think about Donald Trump back in charge of the United States? And I went, ask me about Man United's forward line. Oh, don't you have an opinion? I said, I do, but I don't feel I need to share it because I don't really want to get into it. You don't have to have an opinion. Right, let me catch up on some of these super chats because people are moaning. But why as a Liverpool player, if you were asked who's better, Salah or Hazard, why would you say Hazard? Just, you know, this is what I mean about some footballers. Genius in their feet, sawdust in their brains. Maybe he didn't say it though. Maybe I've just been reeled in. But hypothetically, if he did say that, it would be stupid. I can't believe he did. If United don't bring Fernandes back, we should riot, says Ronaldo. Oh, he looks brilliant tonight. Most hated former United players, Pogba or Di Maria? I don't think Pogba's hated, Mrs. Stone. I think some people don't like Pogba. I never had a problem with Pogba. I think we needed to part ways, but Di Maria would be worse. Patrick Lynch says, you've got to blame the goalkeeper. He can see everything in front of him and he's coming way outside his box. Needs to give a shout. Yeah, if he didn't give a shout on the second goal, he's a prat. Thank you, Patrick. Hope you're doing well. Funniest football team names. Let's go, says Mrs. Stone. Arsenal, as Seb calls them. Bumnell. Goal for Liverpool. It's Salah. Curtis Jones is celebrating with him. So there's no hard feelings there. But... let's watch this back. Matthew says, 2 nuns in a bath. Which one is the alcoholic? The one with the black bush. I don't get it. Alex G says, either or, vegan or dry January. Well, vegan's got some credibility to it. What a pass. Who plays that pass to Salah there? Lovely finish by Salah. I mean, look at that for a finish. Right on his left foot as well. Keeper's got to open him. Oh, you're not saving that. Look at the curl on that. Lovely goal. Who played the pass? That pass was incredible into Salah. The finish was bloody good as well. Very good finish by Salah. Curtis Jones with the pass. There you go. Gus says, my first ever super chat. I've been following the United stance since the Louis van Gaal days. Thank you, mate. Sad days lately, but I left you a gift for the laughs on Twitter. Check the comments on the post about disgusting owners, says Gus. Ah, seen it. I'll quote it. There we go. Thanks, pal. In my opinion, yeah, thank you, Mrs. Stone, as well. Do you watch WWE's EE? It's been amazing under Triple H. I need to catch up on it a little bit, mate, but I can't wait for the Royal Rumble. People think they are British because they're born here. That means if a dog's born in a stable, it's a horse. Just a joke, says Jimmyopedia. I would hope so, mate. Don't really know what you're on about with all that. If United don't bring... Yeah, I've done that from Ronaldo as well. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Daily content on That's Football, debate and live streams. We are only 100 subscribers away from 293,000 on the road to 1.3 million. So make sure you subscribe and get involved with the channel. Benfica have been absolutely fantastic tonight. Absolute. Gary, what do you think? I tell you what, Gary Barlow, absolutely incredible, Mark. Absolutely fantastic. I really, really like Alvaro Fernandez. He's absolutely special. He's absolutely fantastic. Gary Barlow's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to the best Gary in show business. Definitely better than Neville and Lineker. And Wilmot. People. Jimmyopedia's upset a lot of people. Why did we let him go, says Neng. What? Gary Barlow? I think he means Alvaro. Hey Mark, not much. Just been busy with work. How you been? How's it looking on Thursday, says Yechi. I'm looking forward to the game. I was always looking forward to Rangers coming to Old Trafford because you don't get to play. I'm looking forward to Villa Celtic next week as well. But I think it might be a tougher game than I thought. I did the preview today on the United Stands. I mean, they drew with Spurs, didn't they? Who were another team like us. And yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game. Call it not bullshitty limits. Call it not bullshitty limits. Gary Oldman's good. Slow Horses, give it a watch. Definitely. Yeah, I think if you're doing dry January, you should abstain from any social events. It's just not fair. You know, you can't invite people round and then say you're on dry January. That's like having a barbecue and inviting a vegetarian round and not doing any vegetarian food. Did you watch Outnumbered at Christmas, says Jack? I did. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed with it, actually. I don't think it was great. PSG Man City tomorrow is going to be a good one, isn't it? If PSG beat Man City, it puts Man City under huge pressure in the last game. Either or, dry January or no nut November, says Mrs. Stone. I could do dry. Thing is, I'm not knocking not drinking. Like, that's up to you. It's the fact that people do it in January and gloat about how radiant and glowing they are. I would choose dry January over no nut November because I refuse not to have that pleasure. But drinking, I could stop easily, and I'll just do it if I want to do it for a month, you know, for whatever reason. But you don't need to bloody gloat about it. You know what I always say to people as well, when they're doing dry January, I've never looked better. I'd always go, well, that's debatable. You don't look any different to me. If anything, you look like you've put a bit of weight on over Christmas. Mark, I've got an uncle that's an Everton fan. He's giving me stick. What do I do? Says Daryl. Oh, they're not in a bloody great position either. Heard about the dressing room situation and I'm hoping for a bounce back from them and again expecting consistency against Fulham. Yeah, I agree, Yechi. We'll probably play really well against Rangers and then get beat by Fulham. Pep reunited with Enrique tomorrow, says Luke. And Goldio says, had to go to Belfast for a work meeting the other week. Name a more boring place. Shit weather, nothing to do. Have you ever been? I'm never going back. Oh, Goldio. I can't speak. I can't speak. You cannot slag off Belfast. It's a cracking city. What? You must have been on dry January if you were bored. Get yourself down one of the pubs. Lovely place. Rashford disagrees. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Liam Gallagher's response to you, says David. Oh, yeah. So Liam Gallagher called me a CUNT because of my opinion about Haaland. Yamal, back post, misses it. Look, all I'd say about Liam Gallagher is iconic. I love Oasis. I love most of their songs. Little James is a bit crap, but Liam wrote that. Just rhymes like toys with, play with your toys, even though they make noise. But look, he's not a great songwriter. He's a great singer, but he's also not got great football opinions as well. So look, he can sing better than me, but his football opinions are crap. And that's why I said, if you ever want to debate about football, let's have a chat. He's not interested. If he said, let's have a singing competition, I'd still turn up. But yeah, great voice. But, Gary Glitter could sing. Just because you've got a great voice doesn't mean anything, does it really? Alvaro down the left-hand side. I can't believe we let him go. Score, not Glitter. Score prediction for Celtic versus Villa. It's going to be a cracker. I can't wait for that next week. Can't wait. Alex Prentice says, I wonder who cried in the dressing room. I'm going for Rasmus and Bruno. Oh, I heard something about Garnacho and Yoro. I mean, does it really matter? Stone Roses or Oasis is Alex. I mean, I'll go Stone. I'd go Oasis, definitely. Neem says, I've done dry January my whole life being a Muslim. Where's my award? Yeah, but I bet you're glowing, mate. I bet you've never slept so well. I bet your skin's never been so good. I bet you don't say any of them things because yeah, it's just a thing you do. You don't need to put it in the local paper. Odie, how you doing? Agony Bridge. Hi Mark, my name is Manchester United. How do I divorce my husband, Mr. Glazer? He just keeps adding debt and doesn't seem to care about me. Yeah, another chance for Liverpool there, just put wide by Salah. If it was a marriage, you'd get a divorce, wouldn't you? Jimmy says Prince Harry is a posh. Yeah, okay. Love you. Thank you very much. Has Oasis other songs besides Wonderwall, says Parker. I mean, I hate Wonderwall. Here's Lewandowski down the left-hand side. Looking for a cross. Not good enough. Otamendi heads it away. Oasis or Blur poll mark, something different, says MT90. Well, Noosa has beaten Bob by 51% to 49%, so we had a good poll going there. Yeah, if you've got any controversial opinions or either ors or agony issues, let me know. Or something you just want to get off your chest. I've been speaking about my thing. What was it? Blur or Oasis? Manveer says, do you think Rashford will leave this transfer window? I do, but I understand why some people think it might not happen. Goldio is back again, slagging off Belfast. He says, you've got to be joking. Belfast is the second worst city in the UK behind Manchester. Top two are London and Birmingham. Mate, what's wrong with me? I like Manchester as well. Every time I go to Manchester, I like Manchester. I mean, obviously I like going there anyway because we've got the studio in Old Trafford, but the actual city centre, I do like Manchester. I do agree with you about Birmingham. I think there are areas of Birmingham that are quite nice now. Wasn't always the case. And London's fantastic. But have I ever been to Bristol, says DP. Yeah, but I try to forget it. Evening, Mark. Happy Tuesday. Hope you and the family are well. Keep up the great work, says Jack. Thanks, pal. Hope you're doing well as well. Man United willing. Sky Sports are saying that Man United are willing to do a business for 55 million for Garnacho. Literally what we paid for Mason Mount. I'm going to tweet this. Here's that was not Alvaro this time. Wide, Benfica on the attack. Interesting ball, but well defended by Barcelona. Oasis beat Burr by 64%. This is one of the first either-ors we've done as cities, but we'll do it. Either-or, Belfast or Dublin. I mean, look, cast a vote. You might not have been to either. What do you think your best clip is? 3-0 to Palace. I don't understand that clip, Herku. Loads of people say to me that's their favourite clip of me. I don't get the context of it. I mean, is that the one where Crystal Palace, I'm talking about being accused of being, you know, also, you know, something horrible, and then I go 3-0 to Palace. Who's been the most surprising team in the Champions League this year? Brest. I didn't even know they existed. Kodas. If we had a GB football team, we would have won loads, says Jimmy. Well, we didn't win the Olympics. Tomorrow's overlap on Ruben should be fun. Thought, says Alex. Oh, mate, I'm ready to go. If Neville says anything negative about Amorim, I'm gonna go nuclear on him. Nuclear. He should be pulling up Carragher for what he said on Monday night and calling him a twat. Evening, Mark. Happy Tuesday. Thank you very much to Jack Rolls Aviation. Hope you and the family are well. Keep up the great work. I don't know whether I'd read that one before. I don't remember reading Jack Rolls Aviation, but there we go. Cats really have 9 lives. Your house and 8 others, says Odie. Mate, that is so true. I got a knock on the door from the neighbours at Christmas. We've not lived here very long. They were like, have you got a black and white cat? I said, yeah. And they said, we've got a black and white cat that's meowing at our back door every morning, and he comes in and has food and sleeps. And I said, is he a big cat? And she went, yeah, he looks well fed. Fat. I said, yeah, that's our cat. And they said, oh, we love him. Do you mind if we invite him in? I said, it's up to you. Like, that's what cats do. They do that a lot. Alvaro is bullying Lamal here, says Gitesh. And it is half-time. 3-1 to Benfica. And it's half-time in Liverpool-Lille, who lead 1-0. So there we go. Okay, sorry, I just lost the live chat there. Opinion, royal family should be abolished, says Lewis. Thoughts on Scholes, keep or sell opinions. He doesn't play anymore. Either or Glasgow or Edinburgh. Dublin's beaten Belfast. I can't believe we're doing cities here. But Aaron has done a super chat, so I will done it. Dublin's beat Belfast. I mean, who would have thought we would be doing either ors on cities? I've got plenty of football players to do. I will do it, though, because he did do a super chat. Okay, let me... thoughts on crypto, Mark, and have you invested? I did do crypto about, God, 10 years ago. Because somebody I used to work with did really well on it. And he gave me a tip on one. And the day I did it, didn't make any bloody money, and I lost it. So I've just avoided it ever since. What was it? Edinburgh or Glasgow? I'm going to spell Edinburgh wrong as well. There we go. Don't get why people hate Garnacho and why they want him gone, says Mason. Because Player FC exists and agenda exists as well, and people put what they think about individual players over the symbolisation of a football club selling a young player that's not reached their potential for a low price to fund the Glazers. And I couldn't put it any better. Either or, Son or Bale, says Matthew. Cats, done that one from Odie. Dublin, nothing to do in Belfast, says Luna. And what do you think about done that one? There we go. Thank you very much. Haven't been to Edinburgh and have been to Glasgow, so I'll go with Edinburgh, says Andrew. I think Edinburgh will win that one as well. Mrs. Stone wants to do New York or London. What's going on? We're a football channel, for God's sake. Come on. Come on. Let's talk football. Liverpool winning again, says Sign. Yeah, look, half times in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid have had a man sent off and are losing to Leverkusen at home. Madrid are as well. The sending off was Barrios, and the goal for Leverkusen was Hincapié. Benfica obviously 3-1. We're watching that. Dortmund still 1-0 up with Garassi's goal away to Bologna. Club Brugge and Juventus is 0-0. Liverpool 1-0 as we know with the goal from Salah. Red Star are losing 3-0 at home to PSV. 2 for De Jong, 1 for Flamingo. And Stuttgart are 2-0 up against Slavan Bratislava. Llewellyn has scored both of those goals. The way it runs the table is that Liverpool are top by 5 points. I mean, this is great for Liverpool, you know. 7 wins from 7. 5 points clear at the top of the first ever Champions League. How many points? 6 points clear at the top, or 7 points clear? I don't know, of the Premier League. I mean, what a season Liverpool are having. Somebody in the first half said, "Are Liverpool the best team in Europe?" I mean, if they aren't, what's going on? They are 5 points clear at the top of the Champions League, and they are top of the Premier League, the best league in the world. Clearly the best team in Europe. Leverkusen are second as things stand. Barcelona, because they're losing, a third. Dortmund go up to 4th. Atalanta are in 5th. Arsenal are in 6th. Play tomorrow, of course. Milan, Inter are 7th. And Benfica, with their win, are in 8th at the moment. So, look, very, very interesting. And obviously, final week next week. And it's going to be very interesting how that works. Earlier fixtures today. Atalanta beat Sturm Graz 5-0. Monaco beat Aston Villa 1-0. Singo scoring after 8 minutes. Villa had 61% possession, but couldn't get a goal from it. So a loss for them. going to be very interesting. But you have to take your hats off to Liverpool, don't you? You don't cash after a loss on crypto, you're useless. And red card for Atletico ruins the game. Do these officials need reining in? They change the whole course of the game, says Benny Custard. Thanks for your super chat. You can do that through the $sign and we'll read those out. Thank you very much. Uncle Mark, how long does your foreplay last, says Mohammed. Thoughts on the new Champions League format? I don't like it, says Awaz. I don't like it. I don't like it. I said I would give it time, but my worry with the Champions League format is that the first time is meant to be the exciting time, and it's not exciting. Next year, when the novelty runs off, I don't think it will get any better. I think it's interesting next week, but there's 8 games for 1 game of jeopardy. That's the problem with this Champions League format. For the first few weeks, you're sort of like, what does this mean? And also, it's a cash grab. It's more games, it's more money for UEFA. That's all it is. Because even though Real Madrid and Man City won't finish in the top 8, they could still win the tournament because they just play a qualifier, get more money for the qualifier. I mean, a part of me thinks Real Madrid and Man City want to finish outside the top 8 so they can have another 2 games and earn a bit more money. So, yeah, I don't like the format. I don't think it adds any jeopardy, and I just think it adds a load of games. I think it would be good if you're not in the top 8, you go out. I think it would be really good then, because I think it would be very competitive. But what they're basically saying is 24 of you stay in the tournament. And so you play 8 games for 24 of you to qualify. There's no jeopardy there. It 100% is about money over competition. That's all it's all about. It's all about making money. Western Supermare or Monte Carlo, says Reese. Either or, Nunez or Jackson. I am going to do that one. I know that was asked before, so thank you, Matthew. Let's get that one done. I mean, I quite like this one. I do like this one, actually. Nunez against Jackson. Yeah, very much looking forward to PSG, Man City tomorrow. PSG aren't even in the top 24 at the moment. Moscow versus Beijing. Well, I'm not doing any more cities. Thoughts on Neville calling the Walker the best right back, says Dex, idiot. Carl Walker, what, best right back where? Mate, Carl Walker is just an average right back with pace. He is not the best right back in the Premier League by any stretch. Trent's better than him. Way better than him. And the fact that some people think he's the best Premier League right back in history is laughable. Absolutely laughable. He's just Deleu. He's like Deleu and Usain Bolt have had a shag, basically. He's just a fast Deleu. That's all he is. Defensively, he's average. Passing's okay. Got a decent shot on him every now and again. But that Kyle Walker is Deleu with pace. That's it. He's not the best right back in Premier League history. Absolute nonsense. In fact, as Quasi said, he's worse than Deleu. Yeah, probably is. Either or, Ahmad Garden or Kulusevski. That's not an either or the Spurs way. This is why you don't win trophies. You don't understand the rules. Either or cannot be Ahmad Gordon and Kulusevski because you've given me 3 players. Either or is 2 players. Gray himself was better than Walker. Who's Gray? Nick P says, it's funny we have an actual Champions League table now. So you can clearly say the team at the top is the best in Europe. Can't argue with the table, says Nick P. The new format is good for sides like Celtic who have a good chance of actually playing knockout Champions League football when they never get to, says Aaron. Mark, you and I are Eagles fans. Do a watch along, says Zuta. I'm not. I'm a Bills fan. I am doing NFL watch along on Sunday night. I always do the Super Bowl as a watch along. I think it's 2 weeks on Sunday is the Super Bowl. I always do it. I've done it for years. Starts at 11 o'clock. Won't finish till about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's a great stream. I really enjoy it. But this year, I'm actually going to do a preparatory one because I'm going to do the Bills versus the Chiefs on Sunday night. So if you want to watch that, it'll be good fun. I can't do Eagles against Commanders because Man United are playing Fulham at 7 o'clock on Sunday. What's that all about? Why have we got 7 o'clock games on a Sunday as well? Mrs. Stone says, Gary Neville, I mean, he was better than Kyle Walker. Yeah, I thought you said Gary Neville said Kyle Walker was the best right back. Shaw is much better than Walker when he's fit, says Rob. Thanks for your super chats, Archie. Football is ruined by the money now, says Sam. Mate. I don't want to upset people, but football is just about money now. Man United have the worst owners you could hope for. They don't care. They're just running us to make money. UEFA are increasing tournaments for money. The World Cup in America next year has about 1 million teams in it. It's all expansion. And I don't want to upset people, but there is a World Cup this summer. It's a club World Cup. And it's run like a World Cup. They all play 3 group games and then go into knockouts. It's a full tournament for a month, a Club World Cup. I mean, how are they doing this as players? You play a full season, and then you're going into a Club World Cup, and then you're going on tour, and then you're playing a full season, and then a World Cup. It's just unsustainable. The game has never been so quick and competitive, and they're running them into the ground for money. And that Club World Cup is a joke. I mean, Salzburg, why are Salzburg in it? Have you seen some of the teams that are in it? Salzburg are in it. Man United aren't in it. Arsenal aren't in it. Liverpool aren't in it. It's Chelsea and Man City. 2 Premier League clubs, but Salzburg are in it. It's an absolute joke. An absolute joke. Marnie or Son, either or, says Petco. Nunez has beaten Jackson. I will pop that one up for you. Actually, yeah, I will do that one. I know who's going to win. There's a real theme in here tonight. Kevin Riley says, Palmer has cost Chelsea points in the last few games. Lost the ball high up the pitch, holding on to the ball, and they got done on the counter, says Kevin. Seattle Sounders is my local team. They're in it, says Mrs. Stones. Are they really? I'm going to go through the list. Cunha versus Mbumo, says Josh. And probably because the Glazers books aren't playing, says Zuta. Kieran Parsons, who's an Arsenal fan, says, I know you're a Man United fan, but if you were an Arsenal fan, who would you prefer, Sesko or Osman? Both roughly the same price and seen as linked. I would go Osman, mate. I think Sesko is a good signing, but I think Osman's the better player. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me have a look at this. Club World Cup groups. I've got it here. So UEFA have awarded the most slots with 12. So Red Bull Salzburg are in it because they're the 9th best ranked eligible team in the UEFA 4-year ranking. Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Dortmund, Benfica, Porto, Inter Milan, PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Auckland City are in it. Boca Juniors, River Plate, Botafogo, Fluminense, Flamengo, Palmeiras. Seattle Sounders are in it. And Inter Miami are in it because they hosting it. Ronaldo's not in it, is he? Al Hilal, Al Ain, Al Hassan, Ulsan. I thought Ronaldo was in it for some reason. Don't think he is. No, Ronaldo's not in it. I mean, it's a load of shit. I mean, fair play if you're going to say... Fair play if you're watching all of those games. That's all I'm going to say. If people think I'm doing a watch-along for that, they'd be dead right. No, I mean, I just can't... I can't imagine me doing 4 games a day for a tournament. I think it's a load of shit. I might do the knockout. I mean, I just waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Who do I think will win? I don't even see the point, really. You know what? You know why I think it's a load of shit? Because they're going to do a Club World Cup and Liverpool won't be in it, and Liverpool are the best team in Europe. It doesn't work. You can't do a Club World Cup because you have to do the draw months in advance so people can book and sell tickets, but it can't be a Club World Cup. It doesn't work. It only works with national teams. If you do it with club teams, you're outdated by the time you run the tournament because you're running off the wrong ranking system. Like, Liverpool should be in it. 100% Liverpool should be in it. Arsenal should be in it over Chelsea. What are Chelsea doing in it? Because they did well 4 years ago. It makes a mockery of the tournament because it's not the best teams in Europe at the moment. It's not the best teams in the world either. It's a joke. Mahomes or Mbappe, says Mrs. Stone. Well, one plays NFL and one plays football, so what they're playing. Why does nobody ever mention Samu from Porto, says John. You just did. Timer is wrong, sorry. Let me get this right. Thanks everyone who's subscribing, by the way. We're very close to 293,000. We're only 50 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Let me sort the timer out. What am I doing? Clicking on the wrong thing there. What are we at? 49. If you're quick enough, you'll get 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Well, it's been a cracking game between Benfica and Barcelona. Can Barcelona get back into it? Interestingly, I don't think Barcelona are in any danger at all of not qualifying. Well, you say that. They should. No, Barcelona should get top 8, even if they lose their next 2. They're probably going to lose this one, but I think there's enough around them. And their next game is Atalanta at the Nou Camp. They'll be fine. Barcelona will be fine. They should get top 8. I mean, they could still get back into this. Who's the better sports star, Mbappe or Mahomes? I'd say Mbappe's got more popularity worldwide because football's a more popular sport. Big chance. And a bad connection from Koundé. Toro says they only invited Miami because of Messi and get some buzz. Well, aren't they the hosts? Well, presumably they're not, because I bet all the games aren't being played in Miami, are they? How much money do those teams get to participate, says Keel? I think it's about 50 million, mate. And I think that's wrong. So Chelsea get £50 million of legitimate revenue to boost their FFP. But Liverpool don't get anything, even though they're the best team in the world at the moment. It's a joke. It doesn't work. A World Cup of clubs doesn't work. Because the next time they do it, it might be Liverpool and it might be Man City again. But Chelsea might have just won the league. It's stupid. And they might not be in it. Rack says they train 3 hours a day, not even 7 days. I don't know what that's about. Mane has beaten Son. I'd say if you put a Liverpool player in a poll tonight, they're going to win. Hazard or Salah, says Hugo. Okay. I wonder who's going to win this one. I mean, to be honest, I would vote for him anyway. I want to check something here. Curtis Jones reveals Eden Hazard is his favourite player ahead of Mo Salah. But Salah's the one I'd rather have in my team. I know this might go a little bit left with our fans because the comparison is always there, but Hazard is the one. I know we compare him with Mo all the time, and I've been into it with Mo. I play from who I saw as a kid when I loved the game and I wanted to be like as a player. I feel like it was Hazard. Every game I'd watch him, just wow, that's football. Yeah, well, you're wrong. But as I say, not all footballers are that intelligent. It's 3-0 to Red Star against... PSV have had a man sent off, but they are 3-0 up against Red Star. Flamingo, their third goal scorer, has been sent off. Liverpool 1-0, as we know. Dortmund 1-0. Benfica 3-1. And Leverkusen still 0-0 between Juventus and Club Brugge. Sam says, wait for the injuries next season because of this Club World Cup. Football fill-in chattered so much bullshit about Amorim, says Will. You know what I think it is? I think it's just ex-players being biased. Everybody who seems to have a problem with what Amorim says is an ex-player. And, you know, they're stuck in the dressing room, aren't they? The most important people are the fans, not the players. Couldn't give a shit about what the players think, really. It's what the fans think. And Amorim is absolutely right, in my opinion. Keel Robinson says, we need to be in that tournament for the cash. Yeah. Not likely to be in it, though, are we? You know, we're not going to be ranked in the top 8 in Europe. Mark Goldbridge or Gary Neville, says Zuta. I mean, I would hope people would vote for me on my channel. Otherwise, what's the point? I don't think we'll be running that one. Salah has beaten Hazard by 70% to 30%. Renato says, Hazard is way more technically gifted and visually pleasing than Mo Salah. You know what, mate? I've seen the entirety of the Premier League, and I'm telling you now, Salah shits all over Hazard for longevity. It's as simple as that. Benfica are in again. It could be 4. Oh, he's good defending. Hazard, very good player. But it was short-lived in comparison, and he didn't do anything at Real Madrid. And I just think that, you know, I thought a player that really, for me, could be in the argument to be one of the best Premier League midfielders ever is Yaya Toure. But he doesn't get mentioned in it because the longevity is not there with De Bruyne longevity, Lampard longevity, Gerrard longevity, Scholes longevity. Yaya Toure was fantastic, but it was relatively short-lived. Same with Hazard. You can't, you know, people want to call Kyle Walker one of the best right-backs ever because of pace. I think we're going to put longevity ahead of pace. Why is longevity so important? That's what she said. Because it's not just a stat. It's not just a long movie compared to a short movie. Look, you might like a film that's 90 minutes long. Doesn't make the Titanic better because it's 3 hours. That's a film. But in a footballing career, it really is key. If I'm playing darts and I beat somebody on a one-off or 2 or 3 times, fair play. There's a bit of quality there. If I do it 100 times, I'm brilliant. If I win the Premier League once, well done. If I go and win it 6 or 7 times, I'm a bloody legend. So in a career, yeah, Hazard did it for a few seasons, but Salah's done it for double. That has to count because it's difficult what they do. And the fact that Hazard couldn't sustain it shows you how difficult it is. And yet Salah's done it time after time after time again. And that is why he's better. Because he's done it year after year after year after year. That's why, you know, is R9 better than Ronaldo? There's a debate. There's a debate. But the debate is finished by the fact that Ronaldo did it year after year after year and won multiple Ballon d'Ors. And that is unfortunate in the case of R9 because really a lot of that was injury. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? Longevity is so important in football because it's not easy. Alvaro's looked good for Benfica tonight, says Ardo. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. I'd bring him back. Did you see Scholes said De Ligt out, says Will? I know he said it a while ago. I don't know whether he said it recently. No, I can't see anything that's been said recently. Oh, you know what? I just did a sniff. You know, I don't know whether anyone else gets this. You ever been in a pool where the water goes up your nose and it's a horrible thing? I just did a normal sniff and it felt like that. Do I not like that? Liverpool still 1-0 up. Lille don't look like they're going to score, to be honest. I mean, that's another trait of Liverpool, isn't it? Walker's got 6 Premier Leagues and a treble, mate. Is that longevity? I knew someone was going to come up with this. And how many of those titles are down to Kyle Walker? There's, in the modern world, there's always a Pratt. There's always a Pratt. Kyle Walker, I think what Mo Salah's done over multiple years, but Kyle Walker's won more titles than Mo Salah. That's an idiotic opinion. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about 2 of the best players to play in the Premier League and who is the better. And I'm saying it's Salah because he's scored and assisted for years and years and years and years. And then you've come in with, well, Kyle Walker's won a load of titles. What's that got to do with it? It's like me and someone else having a cake cooking competition and then you walk in and say, the chase is on the telly. We've got a LILLE red card, by the way. I missed it. 2 yellows. Some things are more important than a red card in a match that we're meant to do in a watch-along for. They're not going to find a way back anyway, Lille. I'm more focused on the Benfica-Barcelona game. Fernandez, man of the match, incoming. This kid's been impeccable, says Ronaldo. And Keel Robinson says, I've had a horrible thought. Are the Glazers sabotaging United, so we need to join the Super League for money? Probably. United in one word, debt. Breaks my heart, says Oddy. Started at Chelsea at 21. Salah started at 25. Hazard 4 years over. Chikorito says, thoughts on DT's reply on your Cunha post? Look, mate, everybody's entitled to reply to somebody's post on social media, but doesn't mean I have to acknowledge it. And why would I acknowledge it? I've got no interest. No comment, no interest. Scholes said, I mean, if I reacted to everybody trying to, get a bit of interaction from me for clicks and views, then I'd be a very busy person. I'm not interested. Walker, done that one. Alvaro, lovely. Oh my God. You won't believe it. You know what I said about Lille not scoring? They've just bloody scored. 1-1. Unbelievable. 10-man Lille. 1-1. What's going on? I mean, don't you just love football, eh? Liverpool, brilliant defence. Up against 10 men. And there's an equaliser. And it is that guy, isn't it? It's Jonathan David. I'm just looking at it back. Cross comes in, shot blocked, and there he is. To tap it in. Striker's goal, really. Well, interesting games tonight. And I thought this was the lesser interesting evening. Pouring it down in Benfica. Oh, God, what's the dog barking about? Okay, 1-1 Liverpool and Lille, and still 3-1 Benfica. Don't understand why nobody's coming for Rashford. Clubs should be all over this, says Spurs Way. I said that before. I mean, I'm not even going to joke. If I was a president of a European club and I could get Rashford on a free for 6 months and pay half his wages, and I know, well, I pretty much can guess that he's going to be very motivated to prove a point, I'd be all over it. A lot of people saying, why is there so many empty seats in Benfica, Barcelona? I think it's probably because the rain, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's open to the elements. Zuta says, tips on being a sex icon like yourself. Okay. And Kane to Arsenal. You heard it here first, says Kieran. Yeah, definitely going to happen. Razmeister says Scholes did a keep or sell for TNT and said he would sell De Ligt and keep an Arna. Oh my God. They don't help themselves, do they? But, well, they help us, because when you're thinking, does my football opinion matter? And you hear a legend of the game say something like that, it really brings home into focus that although they might have been geniuses with their feet, their footballing opinions are actually no better than yours. In fact, sometimes worse. I mean, that's terrible. Josh Burke says, I've just seen a clip of Carragher saying Liverpool youth was better than the class of 92. I'm done. I mean, what were they feeding players in the 90s? Stupid juice. Fernando Plaza says, why can't people see that Walker without pace isn't that great? Fletcher won with United. He wasn't a world beater. And Ted says, the argument for Hazard is only ever vibes and dribbling. I also think there's a lot of chuff monsters who just say Hazard, who never watched him play. I think Hazard is a bit of a hipster thing, who was a very, very good player, but it's almost, you know, cool to say Hazard's one of the greatest players that ever played in the Prem. It is on TNT Sports Video, said Martinez out as well, says Will. Where's the clip? I need to see this, because I can't believe this is true. Oh my God. Have you seen this Barcelona goal? I can't speak. Benfica goalkeeper kicks it out, hits Rafinha in the head, and it goes straight in. I've been sent the clip. Let's have a look. Oh my God, it's true. Well, we've got an interesting game. 25 minutes left. Barcelona have been very lucky in this game. Oh, Liverpool have just scored as well. Why am I missing goals? It's a bloody good goal as well, isn't it? Was it a good goal? Harvey Elliott. 2-1. I won't jinx again, Ronnie. There's no way LILLE are going to score again with 10 men. Goldbridge hasn't seen a single goal. I'm being very unlucky watching one game and then another. This is sometimes the problem when, well, I can't have the audio on, can I? So I'm totally reliant on my eyes. Massive deflection, says Steve. Yeah, I didn't see it enough to know. But that's how you respond, isn't it? Score straight away after their equaliser. Certainly done that. Crap goal, says Tiblis. Best clip, guy asking for a goal for his dead nan, says Rayan. That was funny. That was funny because the timing was great. Thoughts on Sherwood saying Garnacho leaving is Amrim's choice and fault for not playing him. Seriously, where did they find these crackheads? Oh, Goldio, I tell you what, I'm just so glad we have communities like this, because this ex-players lot, they need drugs testing. And you know what? They're all fucking cowards as well. They're all cowards. They wouldn't dare have a conversation with people like me because they'd get absolutely put in their place because they don't watch football and they just talk shit without recourse. Oh! 4-2 Benfica! Pavlidis is claiming it, but it might be an OG. Benfica, 4-2. I thought it had hit the side netting. He's trying to get his... See that, Pratt? Benfica celebrating, goes to the crowd, and there's a Pratt who's obviously trying to get his coat off, and it's stuck over his head. He's going like this. You don't do that with a coat, you Wally. Cross comes into the back post. Is it Arahu who scores the own goal here? Yeah, it's not the striker. He doesn't score that. It's the defender. Keeper is diving to get it, and Arahu puts his foot on it, and it goes in. 4-2. Bologna 1 against Bologna 1-1 against Dortmund. Instant goal reaction. Delinga makes it 1-1 there. So 4-2 Benfica. Atletico Madrid have equalised with 10 men as well. Alvarez, 1-1 against Leverkusen. Bologna have just scored again. 2 in quick succession. Dortmund are in meltdown. Loads of goals tonight. Lots going on. James says, random question. Do you like Ian Wright as a player? I think he was a fantastic striker. We were blessed at that time. We had so many decent strikers. Ian Wright, Robbie Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Stan Collymore, Alan Shearer, Teddy Sheringham. I feel like there's more. Chris Armstrong wasn't too bad. Obviously, Klinsmann was in the Premier League for a little bit at that time. I feel like there's more English strikers as well that I've maybe missed. Yeah, so many good strikers around then. Michael Owen, not really. I'm sort of talking like 94, 95. Andy Cole. Andy Cole! Chris Sutton. Yeah, how would I miss Andy Cole? I knew I was missing somebody big. Andy Cole, Chris Sutton. So you've got Cole, Sutton, Wright, Ferdinand, Shearer, Sheringham, Fowler, Collymore. Yeah, it was just an all English as well. Amazing, amazing. I mean, imagine growing up in a time where you've got 9 top-class English strikers playing in the Premier League. It was an amazing time. Mark, do you think Rashford would start for Barcelona? Well, they obviously think he will, yeah. What's the worst football take you've ever had, says Alex G. I think it always comes to mind when Liverpool bought Van Dijk and I said they've spent 75 million on the Dutch Chris Smalling. I mean, that one I sort of own. Zuta says, Mark's getting old. I'm sad. I don't feel any different to when I did 10 years ago. Best clip. I've done that one. Thank you very much. Manvia says, what are your thoughts on Lecce wanting £40 million for Dorgu? At what point is it too much? Well, now, why would you pay even £30 million for Dorgu when you can pay £15 million for Alvaro Fernandez, who is playing for Benfica in Champions League games against Barcelona? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Liverpool 2-1 up. 20 minutes to go here. Benfica, Barcelona. I don't think there's going to be a way back for Benfica now. We've had goals. Bologna did go 2-1 up against Dortmund. Goals in quick succession. Delinga 71 minutes. And then they scored again in the 72nd minute to make it 2-1. Samuel Ling Jr. has done that. So Dortmund are now losing. Red Star have just got one back against 10 men PSV, but they are leading 3-1 still PSV there. Any other goals? 2-0 Stuttgart, that was already that. 0-0 Club Brugge Juventus. Locatelli, Douglas Luiz, Cook Miners. Yeah, they're not the team they used to be, Juventus, are they? It'd be interesting to see where Rashford would start for Barcelona, considering the front three that they have. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Yamal. Benfica have been very good tonight. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. I don't know whether we've hit 293. I'm just going to have a check. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We are 30 subscribers away from 293,000. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel before, please do. Click the button in the bottom right hand corner. Only 30 away from 293 on the road to 1.3 million on That's Football. Fantastic community. Doesn't matter who you support. Some fantastic conversations tonight as well. Not always just about football. Cracking questions like, what's your favourite crisps from random vids? I do like crisps. I don't know what my favourite crisps are. Like over Christmas, I was eating Pringles. I don't know whether I like Pringles or just they're very Moorish. What else? I like cheese and onion Walker's crisps. I used to love McCoy's crisps. I like ridged crisps actually. Any crisps that are like, I do like Doritos as well. Yeah. Skips I haven't had for years. I used to love Walker's Snaps spicy tomato flavour. Super Bowl is in 3 weeks. Yep, can't wait, Paul. Talking about crisps and stuff. I need to get all that American food sorted. What I do on the Super Bowl is I just get a load of American sweets and stuff and try them on air. Does Chris Wood start for Brazil, Spain and Germany, says Alex G. Not if Brazil are playing Spain. He can't play for both. But I don't. He might start for Germany, considering Fulkrug starts for Germany sometimes. Are you a Twiglets or Marmite man? I don't mind Twiglets, you know. I wouldn't say I love them, but I will eat them. Barcelona scored, says Dylan. Not on my TV, they haven't. Three red cards tonight. Lille, Atletico Madrid and PSV. Is that a stain on the game? Don't think Barcelona have played particularly bad tonight. I just think this has been a strong performance by Benfica. And to be fair, the way Benfica have played, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the tournament, but if they can position themselves into the top 8, which they could, then you might want to avoid them. 7th at the moment. Sporting are in 19th. But they have got a game tomorrow. Sporting, I mean, they've had a bit of a blip. But I'm just having a look who they've got tomorrow, Sporting. 5:45 against Leipzig, who've lost every single game. Could be another penalty here. It is. It's a penalty on Yamal. They're not happy about it, Benfica, but I don't think Otamendi is really complaining properly. Who are the top 5 worst pundits, says Goldio? 5. I could do bloody 50. There's so many bad ones. You know what I think the real problem with ex-players and punditry is? I don't think they actually spend time watching games. They're so rich when they retire. Their motivation to watch games just isn't there. They want to go and play golf and socialise. Was this a penalty? No. That's never a penalty, is it? Alvaro Fernandez barely touches him. Soft, that. That's a soft one. Carl Reynolds says, what about knickknacks? I like the spicy knickknacks. I haven't had them for years. What about scampi fries? Whew, they're good. Here we go. Lewandowski about to get his 9th goal in the Champions League. I mean, Barcelona could get a point out of this. Be criminal if they did. Here we go. Yeah, nice penalty. Anyone remember the barbecue rib walkers, says Goldio? I think I do. I think I do. They were nice. I like those sort of things. Have you ever had chips, cheese and curry? I don't think I have, random vids. Dirty fries, bacon, cheese, chips. Players in the Premier League that would make good managers, says Outlying. Rodri, I can see someone like that. You know, I do think those types of players, the holding midfielder who can pass, who can see the game, conduct the game, they're probably the players that are going to be the players that do it, I think. De Bruyne is not a bad shout, yeah. I mean, it sounds stupid, but someone like Declan Rice in future years could be an English manager. Do you still talk to your old neighbour John, the United fan with this funny stories? What's your top 5 meals to eat as well, Chinese or Indian, says Tom. Any more questions, Tom? I haven't seen John in a while, but I bet he's doing dry January. And top 5 meals, well, lasagna is my favourite meal. And I like a good roast dinner as well. You know, beef with Yorkshire pudding. Christmas dinner is one of my favourite dinners as well. I mean, the amazing thing about Christmas dinner is I love Christmas dinner, but won't be eating one for 11 months. I never think during the year, let's get a turkey, you know, pigs in blankets. It's mad really, because I love that dinner. But maybe part of loving that dinner is because it's part of that time of the year, isn't it? It's like mince pies. I like mince pies. I won't eat a mince pie till November now. Sean Dunn's just been playing snooker for 2 hours. £10 an hour is a joke. Chiesa's just had a shot saved. 10 minutes to go here. Fart Smeller says, United should have had 10 left-backs lined up and lowballed every offer, but no, we offer 30 million for one and I've got no other option. Eno says, Dortmund and Barca could both use a 30-goal a season Rashi right now. Can he go already? And what if Jesse stays at West Ham? Says Ian. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you think Ten Hag is going to get the Dortmund job? Says Nedas. I think if he does, then there's surely no way Rashford would go there, considering Rashford didn't even thank Ten Hag when he left. I think Ten Hag likes Rashford, but I'm not convinced Rashford likes Ten Hag. So I don't know how that would work. What do we got? Chocolate digestive. Chocolate side up or down? What are you doing with it? Shoving it up your arse? Chocolate side up or down? What, when you're eating it? I don't care. Chapnam. Better group. Zuta, I don't know what that means. Getting a few weird ones now. Joseph says, either or, driving with Goldbridge or cooking with Goldbridge, says Joseph. I like driving. Oh, I should, you know what? I don't do them very often. I might do a driving with Goldbridge. Just to do one, because I haven't done one for 12 months. I might just do one. Space Invaders, 10p a pack. Who's with my old people, says Odie. Yeah, I remember them. I'd buy about 5 as well and eat them all. Corner to Barca, they're pushing. Walking with Goldbridge is a classic, but on holiday. Yeah, that was that series I did in COVID. I watched it back in the summer, actually. It wasn't too bad, actually. I tried. Headed away. What a game. 7 goals, Benfica Barcelona as well. I think we should put a bit of respect on that. Very impressive. I've got a feeling Benfica will get an equaliser here. Nice little dink into the box. Lewandowski. No, good clearance again. What have we got? Christmas dinner is a glorified roast, says Brandon. It's not. It's not. If Christmas dinner was a sexual thing, it would be, you know, a threesome compared to normal. With people you want to do it. It's special. Yes or no, Goldbridge streams a rage game, says Dan. What is a rage game? And Nelly says, if Arsenal finish second again, are they officially Bridesmaids FC? Always the runner-up, never the champion, says Nelly. I don't think so. I still stand by what I've said about Arsenal. They're on a progression towards something, and I still think it's possible. I think if they had a striker and Zubimendi comes in, they'll be stronger next year than they are this year, and they've just, at some point, they're going to be too strong. Do we know who negotiates transfers at United with Ashworth gone? I don't think... I'd imagine Jason Wilcox and Barada are involved. Rank these cities from places you'd most like to live. Barcelona, Paris, New York, Belfast, Birmingham, Manchester. Benfica on the attack. Oh, good interception. It's going end to end now. Di Maria's on. Nearly a good cross. Rank those cities. I mean, I've not been to some of them cities, so I think it's really unfair. I can't do that job, Goldio. I'm not going to predict a place I want to live that I haven't visited. So... second red in the Atletico game, apparently. Yeah, Leverkusen have had one. Slovan Bratislava have got 1 back against Stuttgart, and Red Star have got 2 back from 3-0 down against 10-men PSV. That could be a comeback as well. Still 0-0 between Club Brugge and Juventus. Bologna still beating Dortmund 2-1. Could that be the end of the Dortmund manager? Who knows? Goal! There it is. Absolutely saw it coming. 4-4. Benfica have lost the lead to Barcelona. I said I thought there would be a goal. It's been an absolutely cracking game. It's a delightful cross in on the back post. And look, you know what? You'd be gutted if you're Benfica. But I think from a Barcelona point of view, you'd be absolutely ecstatic. Short corner. Benfica don't get out quick enough. And the timing of the cross is perfection. And there on the back post, no one's marking him. Lovely header. 4-4. What a game. What a game, says Greg Donald. Look, Benfica should have won it, but you can't argue with Barcelona's work rates to get back. I mean, they could still win it. Hi Mark, how do you manage the workload of all your channels? Does burnout affect you? I want to be better at managing my work this year, says Aditya. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty tired now, I've got to be honest. But I might still be doing a United Stand stream. It depends if we get any news. But, yeah, yeah, I think a lot of people have this question. It's nothing unique to what I do. I know people who've got their own business who work 7 days a week. And find it hard to say no because it's you know, they're self-employed and you never know when the next job's coming. I think the most important thing is that you have to find time for things that you enjoy. Fortunately, I do enjoy a lot of the work I do. There's a lot of stuff I do in work that I don't like, but yeah, you've got to find downtime. Work can't be your downtime. So for me, I'll go and play a few games of pool, pop down the pub. Great block there. Barcelona nearly winning it. Tony Patterson says, I'm married 24/7. It's a job for life. Visit the red side of Manchester, says Odie. Do you remember... I can't say that, Gaz Wilson. I don't remember them either. Which is why it's so disappointing when you're looking forward to a bit of downtime and a few drinks with your mates, and then you turn up and he tells you he's on dry. I mean, really, he should have sent me a WhatsApp at the start of the week and said, just to let you know ahead of Saturday, looking forward to seeing you, but I am doing dry January. Benfica! They've got a one-on-one. It's the snake. It's Di Maria. And he's missed it. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Ex-Real Madrid as well. Big save by Chesney. I think Benfica have deserved to win it, but I did quite enjoy Di Maria missing. Yeah, as I said, you know, I don't get a lot of time to relax and have downtime, especially on a Saturday night. So when you've been looking forward to it for weeks, and then you turn up and first thing your mate says is I'm on dry January. I just think if he'd have WhatsApped me at the start of the week and told me, I'd have got out of it. I'd have said, yeah, feel ill. What was your first ever job, Jacob? Paper round. Delivering newspapers was the first paid work I did. I enjoyed it as well. I mean, you know what? Looking back, I did a paper round before school between the age of 12 and 16. And every morning I had to get up at 6, cycle to get my papers from the newsagent shop, and then cycle a mile to the next village, deliver some papers and cycle back. So imagine what that does for your fitness. Every morning, 6 days a week with a big bag of papers, cycling 2 miles. Didn't have any lights on my bike either. Parents just didn't give a shit back then. You know, my parents were no different. Health and people didn't care. You know, like these days, you know, if Seb says, I'm going to go upstairs and play Lego, I'd be like, I'll come and sit and watch you in case you choke or something. When I was a kid, I'd say, I'm just off out to play at 11 o'clock. What time's dinner? 6. Wouldn't ask where I was going. I'd even shout, I'm going out now to play in the disused mine that's got, you know, loads of water and you can't get out if you fall in. Then we're going to go and play in the building sites because it's the weekend and there won't be any builders there. And hopefully they'll have left a load of broken glass and stuff. And then after that, we're going to go down to we're going to go into the forest, you know, where that nonce lives in his tent, and throw stones at him. Yeah. All right, see you at 6. Don't be late. It's true. That's true, though. That is true. That's what it used to be like as a kid when we were growing up. Whereas now... Mark, what are your thoughts on Jonathan David? I'd love to sign him, says Snazzy. You know what? My honest thoughts on Jonathan David are... It's finished Liverpool 2-1, by the way. My honest thoughts... This has got a couple of minutes to go, Benfica at Barcelona. My honest thoughts on Jonathan David are that Wolfie's right. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, that's what it was all like. And we didn't have mobile phones either. So, you know what? We used to go and play out, right? And that's what you used to do. There was a couple of brothers who used to come and play out with us, like football and stuff. And we used to rip the piss out of them, right? Because every hour they had to check in. And you know what it was? Be playing football down the park, or playing army up the woods, or, you know, playing on the building site. And every hour they had a watch. I didn't even have a watch. They'd have to cycle home to tell their mum and dad they were okay. Now, as a parent now, I'm like every 10 minutes. But back then, we'd be like ripping the piss out of them, going, oh my God, imagine having to do that. Oh my God, their parents are weird. And that was checking in every hour. None of us did. Out at 11, you might not come back till 8. I remember when I grew up in Bingham, not Birmingham. I was thinking about this at Christmas. When I grew up in Bingham, I was 6. I used to walk to school, and it was at least a 5-minute walk. I remember speaking to my mum about this, and she said, no, you didn't. I said, I bloody did, and so did my mate. Stop acting like you were a bad parent, because now you would be a bad parent. I did used to walk to school when I was 6, half a mile probably, and it wasn't a big deal. Big goal in the Atletico Madrid game. It's a late goal. It's another goal for Atletico Madrid, and it's another goal for the former Man City player, Julian Alvarez. 2-1 there. Liverpool have won 2-0. Lille, obviously, 2-1, sorry. Red Star haven't got an equaliser against PSV. It's still 3-2 there. Stuttgart beats Slovan Bratislava 3-1. And 0-0 Juventus and Club Brugge, but a late winner for Atletico Madrid. What does that do for the tables? Well, Liverpool have won 7 out of 7. They're top of the Champions League. But the race for all the other places is going to be very, very interesting. Why do you think we've changed so much since then, says Nath? Honestly, if I'm really brutal, right? When I was growing up, there was a lot of child abductions and murders, and yet we were allowed to play out at all hours. Nowadays, you don't hear about it as much, yet kids are never playing out or doing stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, analyse that, explain that. I don't know. That we're more of a nanny culture with our kids now, and I'm like it, compared to our parents. But I think it was more dangerous then to be out and about as a kid. But everything's changed. I mean, from 15, we were going to pubs with fake IDs. You know, my niece is 21 and barely drinks. Barcelona are in here. Rafinha. He's won it. Oh, my God. 5-4. What a game. I'd almost say they don't deserve it, but they sort of do. I mean, that could be Marcus Rashford doing that. You'd look at that. What a game. What a game. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. This is why we do this, because we pick a game sometimes and it doesn't even involve a Premier League club. There's a bit of a handball in the build-up there, you know. It's a long way before. What a game. It's just brilliant by Rafinha as well. I mean, it's Alvaro he does, to be fair. I thought Alvaro Fernandez had a good game, but Rafinha has skinned him there. Crazy game of football. I think up until the 80th minute, Benfica deserved to win it, but Barcelona in the last 10 minutes have shown their quality. They are reviewing it. There was a bit of a hand in the build-up, but I don't think that's what Benfica are claiming. This would be harsh if they've not won it. Penalty before, handball before, goal given. Potential penalty check, not given. Rafinha scores. Barca's work rate, though, says Lykeem trash. That's what I mean. In the last 10 minutes, you can't knock what Barcelona have done. Brian B says, did you climb the Alps and walk through the Sahara and fight a pack of wolves going to school like my parents? Says Brian B. Thanks for all your super chats tonight, by the way. Well, I don't know what's going on here. Is he now booking the Benfica coach? Officials cheating, says Olak. I haven't seen the potential penalty. No, he's sending somebody off for Benfica. Well, we've not seen a replay here, so I'm a little bit disappointed. Barcelona, they're saying. Rohan says it's definitely a penalty. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't argue. And that's the final whistle. Barcelona win it. I wonder why they haven't given it if it's such a blatant penalty then. Clear. A lot of people saying it should be a penalty. I mean, I don't know. You know, some people don't like Barcelona, so you might just be saying it's a penalty when it wasn't. But the fact that TNT haven't shown us a replay in, 5 minutes is disgusting, isn't it? I mean, if this was the Premier League, this would be shown time and time again. But I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. I wonder if I rewind it a bit, I'll be able to see it. Here we go. Yellow cards. Even in the replay, they don't really show it. Rafinha's goal there. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Well, I couldn't see the Benfica player. I thought all I saw was the handball. Well, De Jong definitely handballs it in the area. I mean, that for me is the biggest thing. It's a handball. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. We are back tomorrow night. I think that was definitely a penalty. There's definitely 2 incidences of penalty there, but you know, you got to play to the whistle. Poor officiating yet again, I'm afraid. But don't forget, tomorrow, PSG Man City, we will be live back again. What a stream tonight. Loads of conversation, loads of different things going on. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.